نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. And let every single person watch what he sends for his tomorrow. What he sends forward to the next day. SubhanAllah, the language that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using, the words that he is using, he is telling us this life is nothing but a day. This life is nothing but a day. Tomorrow you will be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over and over again in multiple places in the Quran, he mentions that on that day the kuffar will be asked, كَمْ لَبِثْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ عَدَدَ سِنِينَ. How long did you spend on this earth? How long did you spend? قَالُوا لَبِثْنَا يَوْمًا أَوْ بَعْضَ يَوْمٍ. They will say we lived a day or a part of a day. فَاسْأَلِ الْعَادِينَ. Ask those who kept count. Ask those whose mathematics is that we don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell them, you lived you lived very short. And the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Quran, he took this from the Quran, his dua when he woke up every morning. What did he say? Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana ba'dama amatana. He raised me, he gave me life after he killed me. So he's reminding us that every night you go to sleep, that's as if you are dying. Sleep is the sister of death. And every morning you wake up, it's as though you are waking up for a new life. And that's how comparison of this life to that life. Every morning you need to recognize that it's just going to be a matter of one day or probably. So watch what you send forward in this dunya. In this dunya, the people who are regarded as smart, the people who are regarded as intelligent people, people who have foresight, they are those people who plan for their future. They don't waste their time playing all day or not studying or not doing this. They plan ahead. What am I going to be doing for my exams? What am I going to be doing in 5 years? What is my future plans? Where am I applying? Do have I undertaken the required prerequisites, whatever they want me to have for that particular job? Those people are regarded as smart. Today, the media, every time that you put on a TV channel, they are bombarding you with information. There are banks that are telling you that your children need to have bank accounts so that they have a better tomorrow. Young savers, young interest-eating savers, people who are gulping down interest at a very young age before they even realize it. Put them in this cage before they even realize it. Give them a sword and a shield to defend themselves against a war from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. Why? For a better tomorrow. They might as well, you know how they have those smoking, the pack of cigarettes? It comes with warnings. Right? Smoking kills. Smoking gives you lung cancer. Smoking does this. They might as well have a star on every interest-based ad and say, interest will kill you. Interest will destroy your akhirah. And everyone will ignore it just as they ignore the sign on the cigarette pack. Because that's the reality. That's the real tomorrow. But what are we talking about? We're talking about make them savers for tomorrow. And people come on television and they're like, I don't know what that weird ad is, like, agar aapki TV kuch nahi hai, agar aapke paas wo munafaa account nahi hai, then your wife is not happy apparently. My wife is perfectly happy. But that's what they're selling. Have a better tomorrow. Sell your real tomorrow is what they're really telling you. Sell your akhirah for a better tomorrow in this dunya. So if foresighted people in this dunya are those who are planning ahead for their tomorrow, then real foresighted people are those who are planning for their real future. Because we don't want to be one of those people who will say on the day of judgment, yeah, laytani, gosh, what that? We don't know what that means. Gosh, qaddamtu li hayati. Had I sent forward something for my real life, for my life, on that day of judgment. We don't want to be those people. We want to be the other kind. Yeah, you have to nafsul mutmainna. We want to be that category. We don't want to be. I've used this example with these guys a lot. The bank, the akhirah is the bank. When you're in this dunya, there's a very rich, powerful person, very corrupt as well. He has a hoard of money in Switzerland, right? He has a lot of money in Switzerland. Exiled in there. Will you want to go? Of course. You'd love to go. all his investments, all that he's ever worked for in this life is all waiting for him outside. It's all waiting for him in another country. He would love to fly away. He would love to fly away. But for a person who doesn't have anything outside of this world, of Pakistan, outside of this one home that he has in Islamabad, you kick him out of that, send him abroad. Will he like that? Will he want to go? Leave everything that he worked for, his entire life, leave that right here and go there. And that is exactly what is going to happen. When the angels of death come and extract the soul will not want to go. It will hold on to every hair on that person's body and scream, but not want to leave. Because everything it worked for is here and it does not want to let that go. Because it knows wherever those angels are taking it, it has absolutely no investment there. That bank is bone dry. There's absolutely nothing there. Why would it want to go? The converse story, the other side of the picture, the believer, when death comes to him, he's waiting to go. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best companion. When the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he sent a few huffaz of the Quran, reciters of the Quran, to another neighboring village. They asked for teachers. They expressed their willingness to learn the Quran. It ended up being a plot of ambush. All they wanted was to kill them. So they killed every single one of them. One of them, before the spear was being hurled through his forehead, what did he say? He had a smile on his face and he's like, I have succeeded. He was ready to go. This believer saw that and he's like, what are these people? These are crazy people. He's dying. He's losing. We're winning. He has a smile on his face and he's saying, I'm successful? What's going on? And then he realized the beauty of Islam. The beauty of that person's investment, he did not have anything in this world. What did the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what property did he leave? What did he leave? Every investment he had was in the akhirah. Every single thing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues in the surah and he says, وَاتَّقُوا one ayat, twice, have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot overemphasize the idea of taqwa. In the khutbah of nikah, 3 ayat, all of them height of taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he's reminding two people who spend their life together, is giving them the best advice that they can ever have. Have taqwa. Have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you are good. Inna Allah khabirun bima ta'malun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of every single thing that you do. We move on to the next step. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. Do not be like the people who forgot Allah. As a consequence, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them forget themselves. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. These are the real rebellious transgressors. Now this is what I will inshallah focus most of our time to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, don't be like these people. Again, reminding you guys again, last ruku, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving the Muslims advice, hang on to this, latch on to this advice, and you will not fall into the category of the munafiqeen. Otherwise, there's a very good chance that you're going down there. Very good chance. You could have organized as many Islamic conferences as you like, be all skilled up as you want, but the chances of getting into that crowd, they're very, very likely. If you don't, hang on to this advice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First advice, taqwa. Second advice, bank account of tomorrow, deposit that. Third advice, taqwa. Fourth advice, don't be like the people who forgot Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This ayah, this one ayah subhanAllah, is the foundation of the philosophy of one of the greatest philosophers of the last century. It is that ayah that motivated him to develop a philosophy which made him move a nation, simulate a nation towards independence. Could be everyone's heard, could be go back to language. This is where it comes from. This one. Recognize who you really are. What is your reality? Now I want to just sidetrack, go back a little bit. Don't go back. But that picture that you saw of the forest. Like every one of you said, when you're going to be in that forest, you're going to have to be very, very careful. You're You have to watch your step. Every step that you take, you have to be aware of where you're putting it. Is it dangerous? Is it safe? Is it okay? Whatever I'm going to eat, is it okay? Is it poisonous? Is it not? Is there a snake there? Is there a scorpion there? Is there a lion there? Is there this there? All that. Thorns all over the place. You're going to try to protect yourself as much as you possibly can. Right? Because you know what's good for you and you know what's bad for you. Scenario, somebody takes a baton or a bat, slams it in the back of your head. You pass out. You come back up and you're like, where am I? What am I doing here? Who are you? Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? Right? That's not a pleasant scenario. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be in that situation. Because that person may be eating something. That person will feel hungry. You will feel hunger means that's natural. Reflexively, you'll see something, mushrooms. You want to eat them. Does he know they're poisonous or not poisonous? He doesn't know he's going to eat them. Maybe they're slowly poisoning him, he doesn't know that. Maybe he sees someone of the opposite gender. Doesn't know any better. Doesn't know anything at all. He will feel certain feelings. Will he act them out? He'll act them out. Right? She'll act them out. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know who he is, but he has these feelings. He has these reflexes. He has inherent reflexes. And he's just acting them out. And he gets pleasure out of it. He'll do it again. And he'll do it again. And he'll continue doing that. Right? So, just like this, over the centuries, ever since Adam alayhi salam and through his generations, to this day, there have been periods of time where people have been struck with this baton on the back of where mankind as a whole has been struck with this back of their heads and has completely forgotten who they are. Has completely forgotten where they come from, who they are, where they are going. The most recent and the most devastating in the history of humanity came in 1859. By who? The Origin of Species. Charles Darwin. So Mr. Charles Darwin wrote an innocent book, apparently very innocent book, and what started off as a theory in biology, which is not even proven in biology, still a theory in biology, even there's been counter theories against that theory in biology. But what did it do in literature and philosophy and psychology and across cultures into the mindsets of the people to this day? Devastating. Really devastating. People from thinking that they are followers of the legacy of great human beings. Human beings the likes of Musa, Moses, Isa, Jesus, Ibrahim. They started believing that we come from monkeys. Monkey see, monkey do. If our imams, if our leaders are monkeys, then they will end up living like animals. And you see this in their philosophies. And you see this in the world manifesting itself when you go in the Western world and you see them propagating things like animals don't differentiate between sister and wife. Why should we? Nudist clubs. Animals don't bother with clothes. Why should we? So the animal instincts of food, of fulfilling your desires, the urge to dominate, the urge to be powerful, to dominate the area, to be the king of the jungle. All these urges, people thought, this is where my happiness lies. This is what I need to get. I need to get better food. I need to get a better fulfillment of my desires. I need to be more and more powerful. So our pursuit of happiness, it was redirected towards these things. Human beings mistook themselves to be animals, so they felt that whatever our happiness, whatever this void that we feel on the inside that keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and we feel more depressed, more anxious, anxious and unrest, and there's all this kind of chaos in our minds. They feel the way to satisfy them is to go in this direction, to get better food to eat. But no matter what kind of cuisines they had, no matter how much food they had, they always were hungry. And no matter how they satisfied their desires, And they try to satisfy their desires in the most ridiculous of ways.